YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Paul Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Hey, if this is your first time tuning in, go ahead, hit the doggone subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I post up new content. Y'all gonna have to excuse me, I'm just doing up a last little bit of stuff that I did as far as like going to the gym goes. Another successful week. My first day back from the gym after actually really taking 10 days off. So I really went in there and knocked it out the park as usual. But in either case, hey, it is what it is. Um, what is that? 12. So yeah. So anyway, um, got another got another show, and yes, no, we gonna do the damn thing today. I got hopefully well I already know one of my fellow soldiers is gonna join the party. Hopefully the other two will actually really come in. But hey, in either case, hey, whether they show up or they don't show up, you already know the crazy uncle gonna give it to you. And the best way that I actually really can know how. It's Friday. I ain't got no job. I ain't got shit to do. I mean, well, because I've been to the gym already. So there's no people. And retirement life is a motherfucker. So like I say, we got a lot to talk about. And just like I say, some of the stuff I've already talked about. But just like I say, for the most part, I always like to bring in other people, and that way they can actually really voice how they see the exact same thing, because everybody don't see the world or certain things in the world the way that the crazy uncle does. So just like saying now that so that's why you know that's why we're here, or that's why I'm here. So we're gonna again get this get this out the way, you know. So and then a lot of well, a lot of events coming up. You know, my check your email, man. So like got a lot of stuff coming up. Uh, at least for next week. Uh, we got my mom-in-law's birthday coming up next Saturday, and we gonna help us celebrate. You know, it's always good to it. Listen, it's always good to doggone celebrate you the day that you was born on. You know, uh, but for the most part, it was that was even better. Hold on, y'all. Trying to get all of this. Trying to get all of the preliminary stuff out the way. So hold on, let me do another invite. Or another invite. Copy. Uh, I don't know. What? Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. There he is. What's good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So, so what's good? You sound a lot better considering the last time we talked.
Yeah,
Still,
I'm getting there. I've been dealing. I've been dealing. I got COVID again, but not now. But I've been dealing with it.
oh, really?
It wasn't that difficult. I don't know. About 2 days of a head cold that was uh pretty significant. Joint pain, and then I don't know. I'd say 2 days, but maybe 36 hours of that, and it wasn't that big of a deal compared to the last time I got it a couple years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I
The
feel you
sense
on
of
that.
smell thing is the sense of smell is annoying or lack
Yeah,
thereof.
but you know what though? With me, just like I said, when this whole thing came about, and they would always talk about, your sense of smell, this, that, and the third, and aches and pains, and I was just like, well, hold, wait a minute, very seldom, I would just say very seldom that I can smell anything because because my sinuses active all year round, you know, and then
Oh wow.
as far as like, so it's so it's really kind of hard for me to actually like really distinguish the difference between, okay, are my allergies acting up or do I actually like really got a cold, you know
Yeah.
because
That
I'm always, there's always something. There's always something hurting on me, especially now that I'm finna turn 50 here, but I will go ahead and say in what 21 days. So
yeah.
and then I'm still in the gym, so and I'm if I'm not taking Motrin, I'm taking Tylenol. If I'm not taking Motrin or Tylenol, I'm taking alcohol and Motrin or Tylenol
Yeah. It
and
works.
Tylenol and alcohol. So so
That was yeah. I know what you mean there, but
yeah,
it was I felt you know Krista, my partner, she was like yeah, you should go to the hospital. I mean the phlegm. I never had
uh,
phlegm like that before. I never really got sick in life, if that makes sense. Like maybe my
yeah,
immune system was good. I just really never. I mean, if I had a cold or a flu, I'm sure I did, but it wasn't of significance.
yeah,
This was interesting
yeah,
because it was weird. For 2 days, I was being stubborn. I didn't even want to go to the VA.
uh huh,
And my doctor was on vacation, but I didn't even want to go to the VA. But I knew something was wrong. But I'm like, oh, this will pass. This ain't nothing because the kids got it first, but that really doesn't affect kids apparently. Even the first time when it was a bad strain out there that didn't they
yeah,
they blew through it,
uh huh,
and I was hospitalized for that, and there's other contributing factors, but this one was at best uncomfortable for 2 days. I guess I would call it that.
yeah,
During the one day, it was problematic with the fever. I got like an in ear thermometer the VA sent me, but
uh huh,
I was just like, give me an ice pack on my chest. I'm just gonna barrel through it. And in a couple of days, I just felt better. But the phlegm that like you cough up,
yeah,
that's unique to me. I'm not saying it's special or something like this, but like I've never experienced that. It's the consistency, it's thick,
yeah,
like
uh huh,
literally thick. I mean,
yeah,
everyone has had phlegm, but like
yeah,
this was like concrete compared to water. It
Yeah.
literally is thick, and I'm like, damn, there's something. That's what made me. I'm like, damn, and then started realizing I can't smell, and I just assumed, yeah, because my sinuses are so blocked up. But then I'm
Yeah.
like clearing my nose, doing this, time passes, and I'm like, shit, I cannot smell.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it pissed me off because I enjoy food quite a bit. And if you can't smell, you can't taste.
Yeah. I know, right? So yeah. But then, like I
I
said,
feel better though today.
yeah.
I don't know.
So just like for me, right? Just like I say, man, my nose stays stopped up. Just like I say, it's a year round thing for me. Because
Damn.
it can be like, okay, well, I can breathe because it's like right now I can breathe, right? But that that sense of smell, depending on what the smell is, right? Then I, I'm not gonna smell it. I'm not gonna smell it. It's gonna have to be something that's really strong, you know, in order for me to actually really, to actually really catch it. So, and then like I said,
We have a
all the other
plant.
stuff,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and like with all the other stuff, with the aches and all that kind of stuff, um, that's I'm just looking, I'm for the most part, I'm not gonna say that 50 is old, but I'm just looking at the simple fact, hey, look, that's wear and tear. That's just how um that's just how
Yeah.
I look at it. And then,
This was unique, but this was
yeah,
unique though. It was like I don't. Uh, thankfully, I don't have that sensation just daily. I'm sure
yeah,
it's coming, but it's not there. It was very specific, and it was like noticeable.
yeah,
And
yeah.
what I'm gonna tell you, I got pissed off. We ordered. I don't know if you guys have them. You guys have Wing House in Arkansas?
What's that? Wing House?
You, it's just like Hooters.
No, we got what we have here is it's called
It's just like Pluckers
Sharks.
or Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever.
Yeah, what we have down here is we got Sharks. Then we got what is that? Canes. We have that down
Yeah.
here. And so
But
so
the,
yeah.
the the point I was making is I paid, it was it's not a big deal for most people, but I ordered wings to the house. I was finally feeling better, and I really love their wings. They have great wings. I get like a hot on a scale, whatever, a hotter wing, and they're very flavorful. And I was just like, I was eating nothing, and I'm like, I literally got mad because I'm like, damn, I paid this money for this. I can't even
Yeah, I know,
taste it.
right?
Everyone's eating it. They're like, oh, this is great. And I'm like, oh shit, you got to be kidding me! Right?
Yeah.
I can't. I've been drinking alcohol the whole time, and that's
Uh-huh.
also an interesting thing. When you drink alcohol and you can't taste, it's like this is odd.
Yeah, I know, right? So
But
but yeah,
anyhow, there's enough complaining about that, I guess.
yeah. So now the case, then like I said, did you get a chance to see the Chris Rock Netflix special?
Yeah,
Okay, so uh yeah, well, so I mean, for me, right, because I watched it, and it was for me, right, it was because everybody, everybody gave a opinion about it, whatever. And then it's for me, right, I'll watch it once, and then I'll go back and I'll see, because sometimes you'll miss it, and sometimes some of the stuff you will miss, and so like when I went back to watch it a second time, and then it was a couple of because they said it was live, and
yeah. They said I
so I
was
was just like,
streaming real time.
yeah, and so I was just like, okay, and then there was a lot of stuff on there that he said. Now, granted the fact, I will take in consideration that when you as a comedian, you rehearse. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get up there and make yourself look like an ass or whatever. And I'm just like, oh, because even now, I'm just like, okay, well, maybe just maybe he kind of like he might have stepped on his own feet there because he talked about about the whole Oscar thing, and because he said because he called him Suge Smith, which I thought was funny. So and then he said so he was like, well, y'all know what happened. I got slapped or whatever at the Oscars about a year ago. Because he actually really and what really got me right is that he said, yeah, a year ago. And then he paused, he said, just last week I got slapped. So I'm just like, okay, well, which one is it? Did you get slapped last year or was it a week ago? Because if you actually really stop and think about, okay, when that happened last year, then he immediately like went on the road and all of his tickets skyrocketed because everybody just knew that he was going to actually really go on talk about what happened to him, you know, at the Oscars, right? And so for me, right, I just look at it like, okay, because for let's just say for shits and giggles, right? That okay, he did that, and then Netflix put it on the shelf, and then they just now releasing it, you know. So I mean, because this is again, this is Hollywood that we're talking about here, right? And I don't put nothing past, I don't put nothing past anything that happens in Hollywood, and then on top of that, right? I mean, because everybody handles a situation differently. I get all that too, right? But I mean, but it'd be all the same thing. Like say like if either me, you, or Super Smoot, say if we was hosting the Oscars or something, or they actually really want to come back and had to say, well, look, we want to celebrate, uh, the unit that we was all in at one time, right? So, and then they like say whoever this actually really hosting or whatever. But just know this: ain't nobody finna come up and slap shit out of me. I'm sorry, right?
Yeah,
And and I
exactly.
not, and I not hurry up and retaliate back on your ass. That's not finna happen. And I'm pretty sure it'll be the same thing with you. It'll be the same thing with Super Smooth as well, right? You know,
Yeah.
and then because I've heard what other people have said. I mean, hell, I even watched, because like right after, because what's so bad about it, this was the only event that I know of that the motherfuckers on ESPN was talking about. Motherfucking Skip and Shannon was talking about it. Stephen A. They was talking about it. And so, I mean, now, granted fact, I mean, this is like, those are like sports shows. And they actually really talking about what the fuck happened at the Oscars. Because uh Shannon Sharp just came out and said it. I'd had to come out that tux. He said I said I had to whoop Will Smith's ass, right? And then he went on to say he had to whoop me or he had to whoop I'd had to whoop him or he had to whoop me. Right? You don't because you don't get on you don't do that, right? It's almost like like we as professionals, right? I mean, a soldier fuck up, right? You don't put that soldier on blast in front of everybody. You pull that soldier or the NCO off the side and say, hey, look, blah, 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 whatever. You don't do that in front of everybody, right? Even though a lot of motherfuckers have done that, right? But it's just for the simple fact here it is, you on national TV, right? Everybody already knows who's wearing the pants in that motherfucking family. And sure as hell ain't none of them.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Is she? It's
I mean,
weird.
because he
Like
actually think about it.
they're weird. She talks about missing Tupac in front of her daughter on their podcast or whatever it is.
Yeah.
She th- she's a problem. Number one,
Uh-huh.
and number two, he's a fucking weirdo. Like he's
Yeah.
weird. I love his work. The movies he's made. I'm not gonna sit here and deny his acting acumen. It's incredible. With
Yeah.
that being said, he's fucking weird. His kids are weird, and his wife Jada is a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on there. And as you were talking, I was thinking to myself, hmm, could this benefit Chris Rock? Maybe something was coordinated. And then I thought, it didn't seem like it to me. It seemed like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And Chris Rock, I'm, I felt, to be honest, the emotion that I exhibited best was I felt bad for him because
Yeah.
I'm like, that was fucked up. That was fucked up.
Yeah.
Nobody would deny it. And it's just weird. It's a weird moment as a man to have to deal with that, but it kind of represented a lot of what's going on in society. And
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is going on or what the backstory is. We don't know the backstory. Maybe there's something going on because Jada is so crazy that there might be a backstory.
Uh-huh.
That's the best, unless he's just acting in general, meaning like in life. Maybe he's acting through life. But
Yeah.
when
And
he
you know, like a
laughed
lot of people.
and looked at Jada, he laughed, looked at her, and
Yeah.
like got into a character. Like he was back on the Ali set. It's like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
He seemed confused.
Yeah. I mean, because that one really threw me off because he laughed and then he looked over at Jada and then then the shit changes. And so I mean, so again that just goes to show you.
Yeah, hold on. This is important. This is the Jada. Everyone knows if they do their homework, but they know she invited, what was his name, Augustus or August, whatever this.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like
yeah,
a
yeah,
performer on a family vacation to fuck.
yeah,
Now I don't know how you run your household. That's it, it's not flying.
yeah,
So I mean, everyone can do what they want. I'm not like if they're like, yeah, we do this, and I'm with other women, he's with other, she's with other men. Okay, I'm not judging that aspect, but when you add the component of what's been going on and her bizarre behavior and that look she gave him and what he
uh,
did out of character is like, it's like, this is a toxic thing going on, and how weird their kids are. There's too many there's too many cooks in the kitchen to not
yeah,
know how fucked up the sauce is.
yeah. I mean, because if you it's just like what you said, if you actually really go back and look at that whole family, right? Uh, the oldest boy, right? Will, took that kid.
Jaden, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he took that kid on Ellen DeGeneres or any show possible, kissing that boy all in his mouth, you know, on on motherfucking national TV, right?
Weird.
And then you wonder why he was like how he was at that particular moment in his life. He walking around and dresses and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, motherfucker, what you expect? You sit up there, you kissing, you literally trying to turn your son out in front of everybody on motherfucking national television,
For
right?
real.
So so they're like say so you can't so that's red flag number one. And then it's just for the simple fact, here it is. This is supposed to be your homeboy. Now, for the most part, I just look at it like this. If you got friends, you know, you bring them to the house. Got it. Right? But then you gonna turn around. This is supposed to be your homeboy. This is your homeboy, and he fucked your mama. Well, no. Well, actually, that ain't that really ain't none of
Literally.
Jada's mother. That's not because he's from a
Oh,
previous
it's not on Jaden. It's not on Jaden. It's on Jada. It's like,
yeah,
you really, not that it's better. Well, actually, it is. If it was just another similar aged individual who happened to encounter your wife, it's like, okay, no, you invite your son's friend
yeah,
on a family vacation and publicly fuck him. It's like, what is that?
yeah, exactly. I mean, because it's almost like okay, like out of like this out of all of my out of all my childhood friends that I grew up with, right? I'd have been to their house several times. They've been to my house several times, right? And that's something that even as we grew up, right? To even have it to even think like that was totally completely fucked up, right?
It is.
So so
She knows what she's doing is emasculating him. And LeBron's
yeah,
mother did the same thing with I don't know the player's name. I forgot his name off the top of my head, but
yeah,
his
yeah,
teammate,
uh-huh,
forgot his name. But anyways, he had some issues. He was in and out of rehab and had issues and all this stuff. And publicly, the mother does this, and it's like she feels as if psychologically, probably she feels as if she's living in LeBron's shadow. And it's like, well, hey, bitch, it's LeBron James. He's one of the
yeah,
greatest, I mean, athletes of all time, regardless of where you rank him. Let me tell you something. He's at the fucking top. He's a pinnacle, one of those
yeah,
people. And with Will Smith, he's one of the greatest actors of all time.
yeah,
And this vindictive bitch, this crazy bitch, nobody wants to say it. If this is, recycled and used, and she hears this, with all due respect, you're a crazy bitch, and you're nasty. And what you're doing, you like. I've met these type of people. Like they think they have a master plan. There's no fucking
uh-huh,
master plan. You're out of your fucking mind, and you're controlling people.
yeah. So
It's
it's
fucked up. You hear the way she talked about Tupac to her daughter?
yeah. And then she
Yeah,
said
you're
that
fucking. Don't tell your daughter. Why are you? Oh, now we're supposed to go sit at the table with dad and eat dinner. Like, what are you talking about?
yeah, and then that she said that her daughter wrote a letter to Tupac, or it was
Oh,
yeah, and I'm just like,
I'll
okay,
go to jail. I would be in jail. I'd be in
yeah,
jail.
so again, and then she would always, and then another, my whole
I'd be
deal
in
is,
jail, and then she could write a letter to me there.
yeah, my whole deal is, I get it that you know that her and Tupac were the best of friends or whatever, but it's at a certain point, right? You got to cut that shit off. And say, hey, look, I'm married.
Listen. If Tupac wasn't famous and infamous, not just famous, he's infamous. He's a legend forever, 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 forever.
Yeah,
He's on Mount Rushmore. And if it wasn't for that, she wouldn't have said that, because what she did by saying that to those people and having this connection, it's name dropping at the most toxic point. It's I, I was acquainted with him and have sex with him and would fuck him and do all this. It's like, and now you're telling your kids, and the reason you're doing that is the same reason for all this other shit. It's all about you.
yeah. And I think a lot of it
If it
too.
wasn't Tupac Shakur,
Yeah,
would the story come out?
no, but yeah, I agree with you on that.
She knows what she's doing. You're
Yeah,
not going to be in Ali. You're not going to be in Pursuit of Happiness. You're not going to be in any blockbuster film that that your cuck husband pays the bills with, who's one of the greatest actors ever. who
Yeah.
overshadows you. So, you know what you could do to get clout? You could emasculate them. And in front of your children, to your children. Who knows what they're really saying? It's unbelievable. It's
Yeah.
inappropriate. It's unbelievable.
So, and it's just like what Chris Rock said. You know, everybody they called him a bitch. Then they called Jada a bitch, right? You know, her son, best friend fucked her. And then who does he hit? Me. Somebody that he
Exactly.
know, somebody that he know, or I can whoop his ass. So I'm gonna go up here on stage and I'm gonna slap shit out of him. But
This is the biggest moment of my life. I'm actually getting the award. I know this is, you know, publicly televised, that people are going to watch this. This will
yeah,
get clicks. But the way he snapped into action mode, like the way she has him trained, was bizarre because he didn't care until he looked at her.
yeah,
And if that's not the definition of pussy whip, uh, I don't know what is.
yeah. I mean, it's yeah. That's yeah. I think that is like it couldn't be. That really couldn't be.
He genuinely laughed and then looked at her
Yeah, he did. And I don't.
and then
It's
slapped
almost
somebody on the biggest night of his life. What the
yeah.
fuck? Does she know? Is he held hostage? Like, what did she have on him? I don't understand.
Yeah, right to this day, that's like one of those. It's like the $64,000 question. Because I mean, I get it. I mean, because who hasn't who hasn't been clowned by a comedian? I mean, because I can tell you one year.
Can can I say
Uh,
something real quick? And I want you to finish your point.
what's that?
This is gonna get me in trouble.
No,
You know who he
no,
should have slapped like that?
who?
Her.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like what Chris Rock said.
You can't say that. You can't say
Yeah,
that. But she's allowed to manipulate him. Get the fuck out. You
yeah,
know who he should have slapped like that? Her.
yeah, and beat that boy's ass too. You know,
Exactly.
See, you ain't
Fuck
finna,
out of
you
here.
ain't finna, you not finna come in my house. You're not finna come in my house and fuck my wife. And then again, this is what Chris Rock said. How many people that 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 get interviewed by their wife or husband say, "Hey, well, I was sucking somebody else's dick. How do you feel?" Right?
Exactly.
I'm just like, so again, put like this.
And everyone's looking around confused in a suit. Oh,
Yeah,
well, this was very uncomfortable. What?
yeah. I mean, because again, just like I say, the average motherfucker.
The Fresh Prince of Bel Air is a cuck? What is going on here?
Yeah, because like I said, the average motherfucker, you catch your wife in the bed with another woman, right? Oh, it's gonna be some. Listen, somebody getting their ass whooped. The police is coming.
Well, if
Listen,
it's another woman, that's a different story.
yeah,
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
the police is being listen. The police, the goddamn ambulance, the fire department, ABC, NBC, CBS, all the
National Guard.
motherfuckers. Yeah, and all the motherfuckers coming out to the house, right? So it's come on now, it's just certain
Something
things.
weird is going on there. You know
Yeah,
what? You got me thinking now. Something, there's some, this dog don't hunt. There's something underneath that surface. Something.
listen, put like this. Here's the deal, I've thought this exact same thing too, right? Because again, this is Hollywood that we're talking about here, right? And these motherfuckers, they're act, they are. It's almost like when you get money, right? It just fucking fucks with your mental, your mentality or whatever. It's
Yeah,
almost like the shit with it's almost like
the
the shit with
spell.
Alex. It's almost like the shit what Alex Jones did back in the day when he blew the lid off of the
Bohemian Grove.
yeah, I mean, so here it is, top officials, right?
They're by the way, by the
They
way, by the
doing
way,
that
they're
shit. So
crushing. By the way, they're crushing him. I need to update you on that. They are crushing him, and there's people behind the scenes that aren't happy about it, but they are crushing him. And it's like, you know how stupid you look, just like when Tucker Carlson released the January 6th information. It's like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
well, that's a different narrative. You're opening doors for people. Really?
yeah. And so, but
They're we'll talk about Alex offline, but I have to tell
yeah,
you
yeah,
some
yeah.
stuff.
But I'm just like, here it is, government officials. They out there, doing God knows what, and then so if they doing it, what the fuck you think the goddamn celebrities doing it? Because a lot of these celebrities know a lot of these motherfucking government officials.
Yeah,
So shit.
they're in bed.
So here's the deal. What did they? What was the one phrase that we always heard when we was in? Hey, guess what? Shit rolls downhill, right?
Exactly.
So I mean,
Exactly.
because listen, it's got to. It's listen. It's coming from the top, right? And if that shit is at a motherfucking angle, right? You already know where the fuck is going, right? So considering, and then look, I mean, look at when you go to, just look at the simple fact when you go to a movie, what, and then they got it. It's either finna be rated PG, PG-13, rated R, or X rated. And
Yeah.
so so you gotta be like, and then depending on what the fuck it is that they talking about, is whether or not they gonna release it for everybody to see. So
Right.
uh so my thing is this with Will and Jada with the motherfucking red table bullshit, right? And
They got the grandmother on that as well.
so here's the deal. Here's the thing though, Zach, right? And I did it, and I think I said both you and Super Smoke did that clip, as far as like, this is nothing more than the case of the motherfucking matador fighting the motherfucking bull, right? He
Uh
come out, there with that red cape, and what the bull do? He'll chase that motherfucker, right? And then when it's all said and done, the matador, he do what he got to do to the bull, and then it's all said and done. Because I just look at it like this: if you gonna swing, right? The debit swing. Don't sit up here and be like, okay,
exactly.
yeah, we swingers, right? And then when you feel like the shit ain't going like how you thought it was gonna go, then you come to your motherfucking bullshit red table and be like, oh, well, by the way, I fucked so and so, so and so. You
As
knowing that
as
this is something you
as
already
Mikey
did.
Weinstein, as Mikey
Yeah.
Weinstein and Randall Mathis, my lawyers out of Dallas Fort Worth, when I was on the media dealing with the United States military, as they would say, quote, if you aim at the prince, you better not fucking miss.
Oh yeah.
Meaning, go for broke. You either got to do it or don't do it.
I know, right?
This
So
wishy-washy shit is a bunch of bullshit. And
yeah,
it's interesting. Anyways, I'm looking at the time. Damn, we're gonna talk forever.
yeah.
Uh,
So let's talk
what
about
else is on the waterfront? What else is on your mind?
we got to talk about Tiger Woods and his
Oh,
love contract.
my,
So
my man, my man, my man,
I mean, because
Oh
I you know, and
God.
you know, because this
The
was like a
PGA
couple
can't.
days ago.
The PGA cannot believe the Saudis got that money.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm on my way. What's the day? Friday. So I think that was Wednesday when this story broke. Right. So I'm getting ready.
Tiger. God
Yeah.
damn.
I'm getting ready to go to the gym. Right. And I'm getting ready to go to the gym. My wife, she getting ready to go to work because she works from home. Right. But she had the news on. And then they would say, well, Tiger Woods' ex girlfriend is she's suing Tiger Woods because of something
Oh,
that they had in the contract. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. What?
Jesus Christ.
You know, and so and
Oh,
so
please.
so the whole thing, right?
It
I'm
never
looking at this.
ends. It never ends.
So I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, since when? Since when did okay? Say you get with somebody, you like them, and you start dating, and then you come, okay, well, before we do anything, I'm gonna need you to read over this contract here, right?
This NDA, non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah. So I'm just like,
She just
okay,
waited for the non-disclosure to expire.
yeah. So I'm just like, and and I'm just like, okay, what
They
new
they need they
peekaboo
need
is
to send
this?
they need to send Jada Pinkett Smith over there.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm just like, wait a minute, who? I'm like, who does this? Right? I'm like, if
Oh,
put like this, if I'm dating somebody and if the shit don't work out, then okay, all right, you go your way, I go my way. Hey, it was nice while it lasted, but hey, I'm about to move on. What I just like
hey,
turn around and
and
do?
also, how about this? Oh my God! One time I fucked Tiger Woods. How about that? You lucky? What are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, but you know what
Yes, I
though?
am crazy. That's why I'm doing this, sir.
But
Oh,
the thing,
oh, I
I
understand.
understand.
Okay.
But here's the deal, right? You can't tell me that she didn't know what the fuck she was getting into because this motherfucker went to rehab because he was too busy fucking. This motherfucker
And
was
that's
fucking
just what they tell
everybody.
you.
He's like fucking anybody and everybody, that would drop their drawers,
He,
you know?
you know what's tremendous? I tell this joke, and this is my joke. I don't want no one to repurpose it. If you do, credit me. He
Okay.
apologized to his mom on a podium with his shirt tucked in about fucking about, about getting nasty. That's
Yeah.
tremendous.
Yeah.
I said, oh no, his shirt's tucked in. What the fuck is this?
Yeah. I'm just like, it's almost like what who was that comedian? He said, yeah, that was Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin said the same thing, right? He said, can
I
you
never heard
imagine
it. Let me
Tiger?
hear it.
He said, can you imagine Tiger Woods coming over your friend's house and y'all sit up there drinking and carrying on and then great fact he don't know what Tiger is capable of doing, right? So he was like, Tiger, I'm going to the store, have some more wine, just chill out with my wife when I get back, right? so, so the whole time, right, while he out, Tiger smashing, right? So
You know what? I want to go to Perkins real quick. Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be nice.
he like you
You know,
you look
you
like
know what's interesting? I do need something from Target.
yeah. It's like it's just like this, Tiger. I don't give a fuck if it's down the street. This motherfucker just said, "Look, Tiger, you just sit here. I'm going right down the street. Just hang out with my wife until I get back." No, motherfucker. I don't give a damn if I'm going next door. Motherfucker, you coming with me. So I'm
That's
not gonna
funny.
leave you. Listen, I am not gonna leave you alone in my house with my wife and your name is Tiger. Nope,
Not a
not
good
happening.
idea. No.
Right? So
Oh, let me get this right. This individual trained with Navy SEALs. Father was special operations. He's the greatest golfer of all time in a racist sport, literally. Wow. Sponsored by Nike, worth everything. And I got good news for you. He's slinging dick. So, like, really, really,
And
it's not
so
some
my whole
criminal
deal
thug.
is,
It's not some criminal thug who you're like,
yeah,
oh well, this is interesting. I'm gonna try. It's fucking Tiger Woods.
yeah. And
You're
listen,
like,
it's
this
no
is really
different.
happening. And he
Look,
looks right at you with fake teeth and goes, "Hi, how are you doing? What I actually like, we're gonna start with oral, and then what I prefer is Tiger
yeah.
fucking Woods."
So I'm just like, so at this point of the juncture, and it's like this, right? Like Ron Jeremy, right? One of the
We're gonna get
best.
in trouble for this episode. I'm just letting you know right now.
Yeah. So like
But
it's
actually, I'm
no different.
untouchable.
Yeah. It's no different. Like if Ron Jeremy came to your house, right? And, okay, you already know what he's known for, right? Goddamn porn star. He like, you know what, though, Ron? I'm gonna go down the street right fast. Go ahead and hang out with my wife.
Yeah,
Bro, you
right.
asking for it. You asking for it,
Hold
right?
on.
So
You know what just hit me when you said that?
what's that?
What did Ron Jeremy? Hold on, hold on. I never had this thought in my life. What was that Thanksgiving like? Like, you're his mother. How's work going? What? Hey, son. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. What?
I mean,
Even if the dad compliments at all, how's work going? Really good, Dad. The wife gets mad immediately, and then the wife, who's the mother, knows. Oh my God! Oh
uh,
my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
yeah, it's again, right?
It's a good premise.
I could just I could just look at that because I'm pretty sure they're gonna go to court with this, right? So, and so I'm just like,
They need to leave. They need to leave Tiger alone. He's gonna drive off the cliff.
yeah. I mean, that man has been through enough, right?
The
Uh,
president needs to come out and give him a congressional medal of honor.
yeah,
Just like, hey, thank you. Just
yeah.
stop
So I'm
talking.
just like, because at this point in the junction now, because
Hold on,
I
hold on. Can I tell you something?
go ahead.
This is important. This is an inside Iggy. I don't know if you know this because I don't know if you follow. Well, I know you follow sports and everything, but what's going on in the golf world is the live golf. So imagine if have you heard about live LIV?
It kind of, this is, it was kind of like,
Vaguely. What?
yeah,
So basically, if imagine if the NFL had like a legitimate competitor. And with golfers, it's very interesting. They don't have contracts.
yeah,
They're independent contract. They're considered independent contractors. So
uh,
if you win, you get paid. If you don't, that's on you,
yeah,
which is wild because they're building the brand. They have all these sponsors or did. And what Live Golf did is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia
uh,
literally paid like the some of the best players. Imagine like if they paid Tom Brady like
uh,
$240 million.
yeah.
And when I say that number, I'm not exaggerating. I literally mean that number.
Oh, yeah, I believe
And
you.
he's like, fuck yeah. And the backlash was they just snatched the best sort of talent from the PGA pool, and then they're putting on tournaments. With no surprise, they're playing at Trump National courses, which are in
Uh,
like Bethesda, down in West Palm, blah blah blah, in Saudi Arabia, the best
yeah,
goddamn courses. And what happens is, like, they just made a better PGA, and they don't know what the fuck to do. So they came
uh,
out on a PR tour, and said they killed a journalist, Jamal Khashoggi. They killed him. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia killed a journalist. And these golfers were like, do you know how many people this country kills? I'm gonna go ahead and cash that check and shut the fuck up. Like shut the fuck up. And they're like, there's no way that's unexcusable. They killed a journalist. He was an American citizen. It's like, do you know what the fuck we do? And I think you'd be pretty surprised on how much money we've sent to Saudi Arabia. Not only that, that was the first country Trump visited. We have a pretty cozy relationship. We'll leave it at that. Let's not talk about morals and warfare. I'm not blaming the Saudis. I'm not blaming the Americans. It's still death, but shut up. And the PGA is like, no, this is unacceptable. It's like, well, yeah, for your bottom line. But really, you're talking about one journalist being killed? Do you know what the fuck happened? Do you know what happened on 9/11? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Do you know?
Yeah, I know,
Oh
right?
yeah, we're at war with the Saudis. Not really. Maybe in bed, but not at war.
Yeah. I mean, it was you know that.
But they're panicked by it. And the reason I bring that up, sorry, not to cut you off. I'm going to stop
Uh,
ranting. The whole
no,
reason I brought that up is the only golfer to not do it. Guess who was?
Tiger.
Yeah, yeah. And all of a sudden, some billionaire was like, "Hey, ma'am, that's really terrible. What happened? Let's look into this."
Yeah.
The fuck out of here.
But then again, it's just like what because I know
You don't find that ironic, the timing?
yeah, it's just for me, right? When I heard this, I heard up and I got on YouTube and I just typed in Dave Chappelle love contract, right? And and then I posted it up on my Facebook page, right? And I'm just like,
I know
I'm just like,
exactly, brother.
because the thing about it though, what is that when they say life? What is it when it life imitating art? So basically, this is all what the fuck that is. I mean,
That's
I
so
mean
funny.
because I'm looking at the shit back. I'm like, okay, if you dating somebody because they was dating boyfriend girlfriend, right? And so and so basically what happens is like, okay, a breach of contract. If you like this, if if he sexually harassed her, right, then that's breach of contract. So I'm just like, well, if you my woman, right, and so say like if you in the shower or whatever, whether you get ready to get into the shower or you coming out the shower, and I slap you on your ass, I mean it's like, oh, you gonna classify that as sexual harassment? Bitch, you naked.
Ooh.
So,
Not
uh,
only that, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Not only that, what about the circumstance where they say do this, do that, which might require, depending on what your preference is, some we'll just call it physical attention. I think I can address that in court better.
you know,
And then, and then you do it, and it's like, wait a second, what's the problem now? It's literally called a mixed signal. But
yeah. So I'm just like,
I like that physical. Hold on, I think this may have never been said in human history. Physical attention. They're like,
oh, you know what that is?
you're in
That's
the,
good. I like that.
you're in the heat. You're in the heat of the moment. We'll call it that.
uh-huh.
And there's a
But you
lot
know
of
what
things
though?
happening. Which is well, you know what? Before this gets used against me in court in about a year, uh, I'm gonna stop.
But you listen.
Or just or Or I just move to Saudi Arabia. Fuck it.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal, right? But
or
like,
or I might hit up Jada Pinkett's DMs. Sorry, that's them.
yeah, again, right? You dating or whatever.
Me and Jada could go a long way, dog. I'm telling
Yep,
you.
yep, yep.
I'm like
Again, right?
Will. I'm a huge fan. Can you shut the door, please?
Yeah. And so my whole deal is, I'm
We're
like, if
having
this ain't,
a podcast.
yeah,
Where can I find it? OnlyFans.com. It's where a site where people have sex on camera. Go ahead.
yeah, it's no different. Like, if this ain't like the biggest crock of shit ever, right? I don't know what the fuck is, because again, here it is. I go to the gym every day, Monday through Friday. I go to the gym, right? And motherfuckers being there, a lot of, it's about half and half. You know, it's a mixture. You got men in there, you got women in there, or whatever. But so here's the deal. The point that
Sir,
what I'm
hold
getting
on. Hold on. Why did you just assume their gender?
well, damn, I'm sorry. But
You like that one? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but
I gotta stop.
but here's the thing, right? So, I go in, you get your gym clothes on or whatever, right? And then here come the women. They're coming there and they should be so tight that you can see prints of, you get what I'm saying, right? So, and so
Yeah,
it's this
I think
yeah,
Sasha Baron Cohen, who played Borat, said it best. That's not
yeah,
camel toe. That's camel hoof, girl.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so it's this one that comes in there. It's one that come in there, right? She'll have she'll have like the sweat on, right? And so she'll go in and she'll work out, right? Which I never understood this. I never understood this about any female, right? Now, all of them don't do this. It's just this particular one, right? When she feels somebody is looking at her, she'll take that sweater off and wrap it around her waist, right? So ain't nobody see. So I'm just like, well, bitch, if you wear looser clothing, right, then you ain't got to worry about it, right? And then and then a lot of them, they'll be in there, and I swear some of them, it's how like when you do your legs, right? It's a machine in there. You get on it
Right.
like this, right? And then you do squats, right? Now I'll see the men. The men will do it a certain way. The men will be like facing this way, right? But I swear, every female that come in there, they get on that same damn machine, right? And
I know exactly.
they ass is like, as soon as they bend over, your ass is just everywhere. So I'm just like, and so I'm just like, so a lot of times I'm like, you know what? I just get up and leave, right? Because because I know what's happening here, right? It's
Exactly.
like you want somebody to see your ass, right? And so, and then a lot of men, it's like saying, because there's a lot of motherfuckers in there that are married, right? And so, of course, they don't want no trouble.
And on juice, being
Yeah,
reckless.
and so, so a lot of times, motherfuckers they'll get up and leave, right? Or they'll be so far, or they'll be so far away from the action that it's really not a motherfucking issue, right? But but my whole deal is that okay, if you gonna do that, if you do that, and then if a motherfucker start drooling all over your ass, that's uh because I hate what my
You know
mother
what's
taught me.
even you know what's even crazier? You know what's even crazier?
What's that?
Well, let's take it a step further. I was a kickboxing instructor, like at a gym. Like I was instructing how to kickbox, and I ran the whole operation. And the reason I bring that up is those personal trainers that are in there.
Uh-huh.
There were like women that were putting it out there,
Yeah.
and what I had to do is literally not do anything because they're crazy as fuck. And as soon as something happens, quote unquote, that goes wrong, they're gonna say, "Oh, this was an instructor at a gym." This, I'm like, I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. Maybe 100 women, and the ages varied from shit, probably 20 to 60,
Uh-huh.
and it was these women that were coming in the gym early as fuck, the 5 a.m. workout,
Yeah.
and they were older women. And I'm telling you, they were throwing it out there. But if the encounter went wrong, the only thing I was thinking, I'm like, I don't want to get, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to get fired. I don't want. I'm not doing anything. But then I had a couple women who were putting it out there. They asked me, "Are you gay?" And I went, "What?" Hey, I said, "What?" Like verbally out loud, like what? And I'm like, no, why? They're like, oh no, no, it's okay if you. And I'm like, oh God, this is so awkward. That I'm in a professional atmosphere. There's a camera rolling. If something, what am I supposed to do, Grandma? You
Hold
want to
on. So
take you
wait a
around
minute.
the farm? Like,
Hold on. Wait a
what?
minute. They actually asked you if you were gay, considering what the
Here's the
fuck you
thing.
had
Here's the
on.
thing. Here's the thing. The point of the statement, uh, the tone and the context is important. But these were a group of women that came in at 5 a.m. Like
Okay.
they were fit. Let's get that right.
Okay. All
And
right.
they're like, they were acting as if uh, we've we've done this before with the personal trainer. Blah blah blah. And I'm teaching them. They probably just did regular workouts, and now we're punching bags. I'm teaching them how to kick. It's very
Uh-huh.
physical, and I'm being professional as I can. Literally, as professional as
Yeah.
I can. And they had made advances. Their schedule. They came in 3 days a week, right on time. That's what they did, and they had made advances that I just didn't bite on. I was aware of the advances. I just like, this is not well. You know, my brother-in-law owns the gym. I can't do this.
Yeah.
And she had made a comment like that. Yeah, like 3 weeks later, and I was like, you, my friend, are a 60-year-old slut. That's what
Yeah. I
you.
know,
That
right?
is
So,
unbelievable.
but
Excuse
but
me,
the thing
excuse me.
about
She
it
would tell
though,
you 58.
yeah. But the thing about it though, I say all that to say this to get back to the whole Tiger Wood thing. I'm just like, okay,
If I
you
would have done
dating,
something, she could have said something.
yeah, you dating, right? And I'm just like, I was just trying to figure out. I'm like, okay, did you fill out an application before you dated this motherfucker? I mean, so and so
You gotta check that
and
credit before you
again,
suck this dick.
and again, right? I'm like, okay, this is Tiger Woods.
Curtis,
One of
Curtis,
the biggest,
I need you to title this episode. This is where we get canceled.
yeah, probably. So, but I'm just saying this, I'm just looking at this. This is Tiger Woods, one of the greatest golfers in PGA history. This
Ever.
motherfucker,
The best
listen,
ever.
yeah. So here's the deal. This motherfucker was a a nympho, right?
Yeah.
So I knew. Listen, so all what I'm saying is that you can't tell me that she didn't know that before she started dating this motherfucker. And so, then, like I say, if they take this shit to court, I ain't no judge, but I'll be like, really, bitch? Yeah, not knowing what this motherfucker is known for fucking, right? I'm surprised ain't no porno tapes out there with him in it, right? So I'm just like, bitch, you knew what the fuck you was getting into, right? and then you gonna sue this motherfucker because he tapped you on the ass on your way to the
Kurt,
motherfucking shower. Fuck
Kurt,
out of
we,
here,
we have to do a we have to do a sketch where you play the judge. It's called Judge Keeping It Real. You have to do. You have to do. And I'll play Tiger Woods. I'll
I can
play
see
Tiger
this.
Woods.
Look,
I'm
I
like,
can, I
George,
can,
you're not allowed to do that. I'm like, listen, motherfucker, I'm from Africa and I have an Asian son.
yeah,
Stop right there in your tracks.
I can hear this shit now,
And I
right?
play golf,
Okay,
motherfucker.
how they do it? Uh, hear ye, this court is now in session. The Honorable Curtis A. Harris presided. I can just imagine this shit.
We have to do a sketch. We have to do the sketch. We have to do that sketch. We have,
You know,
hold on. A very innocent white woman in the other chair. Dun, dun, and we have a bailiff.
yeah. I can just, because I'm, because no, because I'm just looking. I'm just looking at this whole situation, right? This motherfucker, he went to and to be. I didn't know that you could. Now I knew you could go for alcohol rehab or drug rehab, right? But I didn't know that you could go for sex rehab. I'm just, I'm like, damn, they got a
That's something you
rehab
tell
for
your family.
literally every
Things are
fucking
changing.
thing,
Things are good. things are.
right?
Kurt, we have to do this sketch where you're like in the judge robe, it's
So
presiding over
wait a minute.
this issue.
So all right, I'll be the judge. Wait a minute, I'll be the judge.
Yeah,
You
I'll be the
Tiger Woods.
golfer.
So who?
Well, I
Okay,
don't
you
want to
the
get sued by
golfer.
Tiger Woods, so I'll be
Oh,
wearing a red shirt that has a Nike logo. People understand the context, and they're like,
yeah,
"That's Tiger Woods." Don't worry, I'll go to
so
the beach for 2 days. I'm Tiger Woods. I'll be just fine.
yeah, so I'm just, I mean, I'm just like,
Excuse me, ma'am. Your Honor, I would like to just say one thing. I've already apologized to my mom on national television like a pussy, and this woman to my left is uh, saying things that, quite frankly, we would all do, and blah blah blah. We have to write a script, but
yeah, I
this,
know,
but
right?
you have to immediately correct yourself. You go like this, because I'd be in the right defending myself. This woman to my left here, quite frankly, is inappropriate, and I've been really working on these things. Your Honor, I could provide documentation that I went to a facility actually. It's very interesting where they tell you not to fuck a lot, and I've been trying my best not to fuck a lot, but this. I'm sorry, I get a little flustered here. Um, Actually, I plead the fifth, and by fifth I mean I seen a little crick in the back corner there that might get it after this hearing, and I just can't help myself, Your Honor. Please.
I mean, I
God
mean,
damn it! I just want to win. I just want to win the Masters.
yeah, I just want
I'm
to
the
play
goat,
golf.
and by goat I mean they prefer doggy. It's complicated, Your Honor. Sorry,
Yeah, so I'm just like,
Kurt. I'm canceled officially. But
yeah. What if
after today I'm canceled. But at least I'm dapped, permanent and
yeah,
total. And I'd like
and
to appreciate.
man, like I
I'd
said,
like to thank the United States government for your help in this endeavor.
yeah.
It's been quite the ride.
Okay, so last little bit of business.
I'm sorry, I
Um,
got crazy there.
last little bit of business.
Shit.
Uh, apparently, in the state of Mississippi, uh, the Congress people down there they trying to pass a law. It's called the Mississippi 1020 law. So basically, in a nutshell, they're actually like really trying to take away the voting power of the people that's like right there in the capital city of Jackson, Mississippi, right? So uh, I know they I mean, because me and Spook was talking about it the last time that all three of us were here, and like I said, I was hoping that she would have came on this one, But the
She's
thing
gonna
about
watch
it,
this one and be like, "Thank God I was not on that one."
yeah, but the thing about it though is, anyway, they try to, it's almost like they try to take away the voting power of the people that acts like really there in the capital city, right? So,
Man.
but so my whole question is,
But what is it like? Like I think they call it gerrymandering. Like they're changing like the
yeah,
lines, like in the counties.
they changing they I get they changing the whole setup. Put like this, it's almost like okay, well, whatever the fuck is happening in the
Dang.
capital city, right? And so instead of the actual people, the actual what is it, the legislative people that's like right
Yeah.
there in the capital city, right? Instead of them actually like really voting on the law, then it's people on the outside. I mean, it's still within the state, but it's like okay, it's almost like okay, well, say we work here, we control every goddamn thing here, right? And then here come outside motherfuckers telling us, no, you gonna do it like this for the most part, right?
Yeah.
And people that really haven't had any type of say so about what actually really goes on in the capital city of Mississippi, it's almost like these motherfuckers saying, well, look, y'all ain't doing your job, so we gonna bring in some outside help when
Wow.
but it's actually like really no record of the people that's working like within the city of Jackson, Mississippi. Ain't nobody complaining. Everything is how it should be, right? But here come these people that's gonna be like, okay, well, hey, look,
So
we gonna
they're politically flanking these people. That's
yeah,
I gotta look into this. This is
yeah.
highly inappropriate.
So, because like I said, I went back and I looked at it, and so I was just like, okay, wow, really? So this is what the fuck they doing? So, but my whole
Wow.
deal is, but my whole thing about that though is this, though. Um, I mean, great the fact whether you look at it, great the fact if you look at it from a state level or a federal level, right? I'm just looking at the shit back. Okay, when did a vote actually really matter? Because and
Right.
and I'm going back, and the only reason why I say this is because I'm actually really going back to what the fuck happened back in 1965 when when they actually really put the Civil Rights Voting Act into play.
And people need to understand real quick. This is we're not talking about New York or the North or Los Angeles. We're talking about the Deep South, where it's deep rooted systematic racism,
Jim
and I
Crow,
think that,
because
that's
a
a,
lot of
it's
people saying this is
that's imperative to understand to act like it just went away.
yeah. So a lot of people saying that this is nothing but this is nothing more than Jim Crow all over again. And then and so basically I look at it like this. And just like I said, uh I got into it with one of the folk on my Facebook page, because I forget what election it actually really happened. And then he got on there like, ooh, I voted. I did this, I did that, I did the other. And I was like, and so for me, right, I just asked him, so I said, so do you really think that your vote is actually like really gonna count for shit? Right? And he said, yeah. And then again, I took it back. I said, look, do you actually really know what happened back in 1965? Do you know anything about the motherfucking the Civil Rights Voting Act, giving us the right to vote? And so my whole deal is this, right? If if it takes if it takes the government, right, to put a law in place for people that's my color or darker or whatever the case may be, right? If put like this, if a law has to be in place in order for me to vote, and ain't no law is like everybody else could just listen. Everybody else could just go vote, but I gotta have a law in order for my voice to be heard. That's a law that you can motherfucking keep, as far as I'm concerned,
Not
right?
not
So
not only that, you're talking to a guy, and you're modest when I say that, as you were, you know, having a
yeah,
discord with this guy, this individual. You know, you were in the Million Man March.
yeah,
You lived an incredible life. The balls it took to defend me, at the time where there was, I guess we'll call it what it is. It's racism against Arab
yeah,
Americans. And as a black man, said, no, we're not going to do this. Do you know the fucking balls it takes to go on that red carpet and what we did? It's like,
yeah,
this guy may have only ate Cheetos, like literally. And I'm not
yeah,
trying to besmirch him. I have no idea, but people need to understand that there's people in this country that really fought for that, and it's like that is
yeah,
very disingenuous, and fucking it's stupid, quite frankly. It's like, what are you talking about?
yeah. And and see,
I take it
and this,
serious. That listen, to
yeah,
go on a bus that's chartered. I'm not going to tell the whole story again, but what we did there in Korea, it's like, do you understand the progress that had to be made, as you're alluding to, in 1965 in the Civil Rights Act, to even allow that to be a possibility? And on top of that, it was done. And it, I'm sorry, that one really offends me. This guy, like, did you look into him at all?
what the
Like what he
the
does, or like what?
I mean, he was just listen. He was just one of those guys that he was just happy that he could vote, right?
Yeah,
And
I got
for the
you.
most part, look, I ain't got no problem with that. But I'm just like, okay, to put a law,
You know what also is really important that I've been seeing, like, on social media. There's this movement where if you happen to be a black person and you happen to vote conservative, you're dumb, you're ostracized, you're threatened, you're canceled in some capacities,
yeah,
and that in itself is, it's very inappropriate. Like, it's not right, because it's
uh,
like people are waking up to the fact that it's like, well, I'm a minority, I vote this way. It's like, you might be want to be
yeah.
careful there.
But
It's
I'm
just
gonna tell you
it's
this.
not intelligent.
I'm gonna tell you this. Because like late last night, me and my wife, we was in here, and we was on YouTube. We was watching like other folks, you know, do they little thing or whatever. And then she actually really told me. She said I would love to see somebody else like try to critique my material, right? So I'm just saying, well, baby, just know that that shit would never happen, because it's just for the simple fact that for one, I speak in such of a way, right, that I mean, yeah, you may can try to counter it, but you're gonna sound real stupid trying to, right? And it's just for the simple fact that it's only a select few that are actually like really wanting to actually like really hear the truth, the unfiltered truth, right? And a lot of motherfuckers ain't ready for that. So just like what I said, right? For the shit that's happening down there in Mississippi, right? Or either it's been happening or it's about to happen. For
When we get
that to
off this
happen,
call, I'm gonna look into that. I have to.
yeah,
I was unaware of that.
yeah. So for that to happen to those people down there, it's fucked up because it's just for the simple fact I'm looking at because again I'm looking back at what the fuck happened in 1965,
Yeah.
where that when they put that law in place, that was like for every black person, whether you want to call them black, African American, whatever the case may be, that went for everybody. That went for everybody that was either my color or darker or a little bit lighter than me. Where that whoever that was running for office, whether it was there in their own state or whether it was for the president of the United States, that hey, look, I can vote now,
It's almost
right?
it's symbolic. It's symbolic that it's in Jackson, Mississippi, because it's like if you're a student of history, you understand how important Jackson was. And whoever's listening or is going to hear this,
Yeah,
my son's name is Jackson, and it actually has significance to me. I don't think it sounds cool. It
yeah.
it has
I mean, but
significance, and
but here's the deal though.
no, I'm serious. People need to
Yeah, I hear what you're
understand.
saying. I hear what you're
Like
saying. Now,
people
go ahead,
need to
finish
hear
up.
what happened there.
Yeah, it's
I,
fucked up.
you got me fired up now. I'm starting to sweat now.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I mean, great the fact.
I'm looking at it
That,
right now online
yeah.
as we're talking. This
Now,
is not right.
great the fact. Whether
Is it a big discussion like in the South, like in where
I
you're at?
mean, it's. I mean, well, I mean, the thing about it is this. It's starting because basically what they said, like, okay, if they do this shit, basically what the people in the state of Mississippi, how they looking at it is like, hey, look, if they can do this shit here in the South, in Mississippi, then you can just be ready for all of the other southern states
Yeah, it's like a
to
model.
to, to motherfucking follow suit. And
Yeah,
so everybody or the people that actually really see this law for what the fuck it truly is, right? A lot of motherfuckers are acting like, hey, look, do not let this law get put into play because the first time that you do, then again, the South, as we know it, it's like a motherfucking disease, right? Here's the port of origin, and then after a while, that shit is gonna spread, right?
yeah.
So it's just one of those things that,
Especially within that state, like a jurisdictions there, like county to county, that will. Yeah, it
yeah,
will. I feel
because
you. And
because it's a
hey, it's 2:21 right now over
uh,
here, and God, we could go for another 3 hours. I feel like, but I have to cut it short due to
yeah.
obligations. But I want to
But yeah,
pick it
man,
back up.
I just wanted that. I really wanted to put. I mean, talking about Chris Rock, that was good. Talking about Tiger Woods, that was. But I really wanted to hear what you had to say on this particular subject because again, it goes back to what the fuck me and you did, right? And it's just for the simple fact that I'm out. Put it like this. I'm always, I've always been the type of person. I want everybody to motherfucker have a fair shake at this, right?
Yeah,
I'm just like, okay, so here it is. It's almost like you got
we'll,
somebody from
we'll
the
do it. We'll
outside.
do it like this. We'll do it like this. we'll talk offline. We'll text
Uh-huh.
offline, and I think we need to have a. I want to read about this,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna have a full discussion. And I don't know when you think is good for you, but we'll discuss that. Not
Well, I'm all,
publicly.
me, I'm always free, but just like I
We'll do
say,
it privately.
because I sent Smoot the link, right? But
Yeah,
apparently she
I gotta
must
read
be
into
at work
it.
today.
I'm seeing some stuff now, but I really want to focus on it and see it. And
Yeah.
what we'll do is whenever you're free, I have a free schedule. I could make time for it anytime.
Well,
And
anything after 12 o'clock, you know,
yeah,
because I go to the gym, right? So
well,
anything after 12
we'll
noon
just,
is
I
out.
don't want to. Well, yeah, I'm down with you, but we'll text about it. I just for whatever I don't know why I'm paranoid about saying it online, but we'll discuss that time and we'll make it happen. I'm going to read about this today and educate myself on it because, quite frankly, from what I'm seeing initially, it's pretty disturbing.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So just like I say, you read up, look up on it, and then just like I say, man, just like I say, I'm always free. Just like I say, hopefully we get because Smoot told me about it, and right,
We
and so
will.
right,
Let's do it in the group chat, and then
yeah,
let's try to find a time that works for all of us, and I'll make it happen.
okay then. All right, man. I'll talk to you.
Uh, all right, team. Great podcast.
All right
Thank
then.
you.
All right, peace. Whew. All right, y'all. Good show. Uh, got some laughs out of it, and which for the most part is what I always try to look for. But then again, you got that well, let's just say this: all of it was motherfucking serious, but then, but not everything that you could actually really make jokes out of. And so, um, again, regardless of how you may look at me as far as like how I view things, uh, hey, listen, I hate to say, I don't like to be, I don't, I wonder one of the few people that I don't like to be like, well, where everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't, for the most part, I don't do opinions. I do facts because it's just for the simple fact that I can look at something regardless of subject. I can break that shit down, and then I can actually really tell you, okay, this is what the fuck, and then I can say, hey, look, this is where they was actually really trying to go with it, and they fucked up in the process. Just like that bitch that was talking about uh with the whole Chris Rock thing, Ebony K. Williams, or whatever the fuck her name is, right? She gonna sit up here and gonna call this man a motherfucking sellout because he performing in a predominant white audience. Let her tell it. And even if it was, big fucking deal, right? Because I already know this bitch, she 39 years old, so she probably don't know what the fuck Richie Pryor did. Don't know what Dick Gregory or Bill Cosby did, right? But I know she old enough to know what the fuck Dave Chappelle did, right? Just know white folks are gonna be involved, you ignorant bitch, you. Right? And that's why I said that's why I titled this shit the way that I titled it. Selective hear well, damn, I'm about to say selective hearing. Which for the most part, this is what the fuck it is. A lot of motherfuckers feel like this. In order to have selective outrage. You got to have selective seeing, hearing, and motherfucking thinking. Plain and simple. You pick on who the fuck you want to pick on. Just like this bitch, Ebony K. Williams. She picking on Chris Rock because he performing in a predominant white audience. Okay, like this is something motherfucking brand new. So, again, put like this. Everybody always holler about, oh, everybody's entitled to their opinion. No, the fuck you ain't. Especially when you sound real stupid. Because it's just like what I said. Chris Rock ain't the first comedian to perform in front of a predominantly white audience. Dave Chappelle do it. Richard Pryor did it. All the comedians at one point have done it. Whether it's half and half, like this, it's either going to be half and half or it's going to be 55-45. Or it may be 65-35 or 70-30. Right? But in either case, if I can get you to but like this, these bastards that already done paid me. So I could care less who out there in motherfucking audience. Look, the money is already in my motherfucking pocket. What the fuck do you expect for Chris Rock to do? Oh, you know what? There's too many white folk in here. You can't come in here. Or if it's too many black folks in here, right? It's like you expected for this motherfucker to make a quota. The only quota that Chris Rock and any other motherfucking comedian is worried about, look, how much are you gonna pay me? How much is gonna be in my motherfucking bank account once this shit is over with? That's all what the fuck matters. So Ebony K. Williams or anybody else that sit up here that wanna clown Chris Rock on how he performed and who he performed in front of, guess what? You go suck a fat baby's balls. So we can hurry up and classify your motherfucking ass as a goddamn sex offender. You know, and you know, it's just for some fact that then, and I hate to be, I hate to bring color into it, but look, the bitch that's making all this motherfucking uproar, look at her goddamn color. She high yellow, but you gonna bitch about it. But then again, here's another thing, too, people, right? I don't know where the fuck it is in the Bible, right? And no, I'm not a motherfucking Bible thumper, but here's the deal. You are what your father is. Meaning, if your father is a so-called black person or African American, and then he go get with somebody that is opposite color of him, notice I didn't say motherfucking race. Right? Because just like I said, ain't nobody this goddamn color. All right? But motherfuckers sit up there holler about they black all goddamn day long, right? And guess what? Ain't nobody this motherfucking color neither. Right? So stop with this all black white bullshit. Right? You show me a black person, I'll shut the fuck up. Plain and simple. You see my tattoos, right? If I'm so goddamn black, right, you wouldn't be able to tell if I had a motherfucking tattoo on my arm. So stop with this motherfucking nonsense. I got a black shirt on, people. A lot of you bastards are brainwashed. Plain and simple. You don't know what the fuck to call yourself, right? You want to call yourself African American. You want to call yourself Negro, right? Apparently, you motherfuckers don't do no goddamn study. Because if you did, half this shit which y'all say wouldn't fly out your motherfucking mouths. And then y'all wonder why I call y'all raggedy motherfuckers from time to time. Because you don't know no goddamn better. I call myself the crazy uncle because it's just for the simple fact I'm that motherfucker that got the most sense out of everybody else. So you call me crazy. You laugh at what the fuck I talk about, right? But then some of y'all will go listen to a motherfucker that's been around forever and a goddamn day and don't know shit about what the fuck they talking about. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you what a motherfucker told me long time ago, right? You don't get to be old being no motherfucking fool. At least that's or at least that's the way that the song is supposed to go, right? The older you get, right? Certain things that you are supposed to leave behind, right? Some of this shit you supposed to already motherfucking know. And if you have that motherfucking knowledge, then you pass it off to those of us that may not know. But you know what though? I'm gonna tell you something about the crazy uncle. The crazy uncle really ain't trying to hear it from no motherfucker. I go look at it from my own. I'll go look at it. I mean, if you tell me, I'm like, you know what? I hear what you're saying. Well, let me go check it out first. And then if it's any truth to what the fuck you saying, then yeah, I'll come back and I'll give you your motherfucking props. But just know, the first time that you bullshit me, I'm gonna let you know about that shit too. And there's been plenty of times that I did this shit, not on Facebook, but I did it on motherfucking on the wonderful world of goddamn YouTube. So my whole deal is this, right? Have a panoramic vision. Leave that motherfucking tunnel vision alone. Unless you actually really, unless you know what, I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone, right? Well, let's just say this: have a panoramic vision on every goddamn thing. I gives a lovely, good goddamn, and three lovely folks on what it is. Have a panoramic vision on everything. Take them fucking shades off. Let your head breathe, right? And just for once, be like, you know what? The crazy uncle might, just might, know what the fuck he talking about. After you actually really go back and do some motherfucking research. But I know a lot of some of y'all may do it. The rest of y'all motherfuckers so far gone. They can feed you the truth in a motherfucking IV, and you'll still motherfucking deny it. But in either case, people, it is what it is. So with that being said, guess what the fuck y'all get to do? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your big dad, tell your big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door across the street around the corner, Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Till next time.